Sam George, as someone who we have employed you, that's not how you are supposed to talk. You need to learn some diplomacy if we are being honest. If that bill comes to pass, this thing I'm saying right here, I could be taken off just like that. Are you aware of that? This 34-page document quietly gives the government power to enter offices, seize data, freeze assets, and decide who can work in tech. Here's what they are not telling you.
Please stop spreading falsehood and misinformation so gleefully. Thanks.
So if this bill comes in, just a tweet like that means someone just tagged it as misinformation, and so you are going to be what? Swept out, just like that.
They can just do that, and that's very crazy. Like, that's infringement on your right to speak. When you talk, people would think that you are trying to speak for some political party, actually.
We are talking about something that is directly affecting our life, you and I, and to whoever is watching us now.
When you start reading the bill, right, it promises you something good, right? So we want to protect women and children, which is great. We want to make sure people are not committing cyber crimes, which is great. You go deeper and you're like, you need accreditation to practice, else you are a criminal for that. That's crazy. Like,
why should Ghanaians be concerned? Number one, this bill creates a powerful surveillance state apparatus with minimal checks and balances. Number two, your online activities could be monitored, your communications intercepted, and your assets seized based on broadly defined offenses. So now, are we saying that we are giving all of this autonomy to just one body? The black man is already drunk on power already, and if you are giving him this opportunity extra, is that not a recipe for disaster? If we are being honest, international precedent shows such laws are often used to silence dissent rather than fight genuine cybercrime.
I would say it should be scrapped, right?
Immediately, with immediate effect. Charlie, there's a critical issue we need to speak about right now. Like now. Are you ready for now?
This song couldn't wait. Sorry.
No, we couldn't.
I'm not even smiling, car.
There's no smiling matter here.
Let's digest this one.
There's something they say. They say a large one-year romance. You know what comes after that? Yeah.
Charlie, you're crazy.
All right. So straight into business. Let's talk about this one. So there's something which is trending. So our guy, Cole Watson, he said something. There was something going on. Can you give us the background story before I read his tweets?
Oh, so I was actually minding my business on Twitter, and then the first person I saw talking about this whole thing was the damn tech guy. And then I was like, what's this about? So I also started getting into it. And then Nanabi K.O. Boateng also made a thread on that. And then today I was like, nah, this is really serious. So I spoke to the damn tech guy. I was like, Charlie, we've been talking about it, but we need to start a hashtag. So I began the hashtag, and then K.O. Boateng just took it, added it to what he was tweeting, and it just went all over, and everyone is using the hashtag. So it's trending and it's picking up the pace. I'm really excited about that, and also the space we held.
Great.
So Charlie, that's what is going on.
Great,
so,
great.
Yeah.
Now let's get straight into business. So he was like, this tweet's on our screen. He said, thread, Ghana's Cybersecurity Amendment Bill 2025. And then he added a URL. And then he said, this 34-page document quietly gives the government power to enter offices, seize data, freeze assets, and decide who can work in tech. Here's what they are not telling you. This is the whole genesis of the matter. When he tweeted this, he gave critical examples as to how that bill is not supposed to go live. And then, our former minister, you know him now, the mini agenda man, our own Mr. Politician for God and country.
When you
Jata.
When you talk, people would think that you are trying to, speak for some political party, actually.
No, no,
This
no, no,
one,
no, no, no.
dear.
No, we are not here to speak
This
for
one,
any
dear.
political party. We have to make that clear. We are not speaking on behalf of any
Yeah.
political party. We are
At
talking
all.
about something that is directly affecting our lives, you and I, and to whoever is watching
Yeah.
us now. So let's say, what did he say? Do you remember what he said?
I wouldn't want to say something that he didn't say, but I think I have the tweet here.
Good. Can you read it out?
He came to reply to K.O. Boateng, right? And then he said, "Sir, how many legislation have you reviewed? That provision is not a novelty in Ghanaian and Commonwealth laws. Parliament has oversight on every agency of state. The CSA alone reports to 2 different committees of Parliament." I hope that's the short form that he put there. "Info and comms and security and intelligence. Please stop spreading falsehood and misinformation so gleefully. Thanks." And then, you know the funny thing, if this bill is passed, by saying that he is spreading falsehood, he can be, if the CSA deem his tweets to be falsehood, they can just pick him up. He doesn't. They can just pick him up because they have the power to decide that, okay, or this is falsehood, and so you're supposed to be fined. You're supposed to do jail, or they can just do that, and that's very crazy. Like, that's infringement on your right to speak, right? So it's crazy. It's a whole lot, and it's just wrapped around. It's just wrapped in a cybersecurity Trojan horse, But there's so much in there.
Wait. When you say Trojan horse, what do you mean by that? We want to be very clear on this. This is not any laughing matter. Please break this down.
Yes.
What do you mean by Trojan horse?
So what I mean by Trojan horse is when you start reading the bill, right? It starts to talk about it promises you something good, right? So we want to protect women and children, which is great. We want to make sure people are not committing cyber crimes, which is great. Talks about all that. Then it goes on to broaden the whole scope, and then it covers like a wider variety of things, like the whole tech ecosystem and even future tech that are not yet in, which they call emerging tech, right?
All right.
So anything that is yet to come, they have the power to regulate it even before it comes, which is crazy because the thing has to come. You look at it, and then you say, okay, well, we need to make rules around this thing. But you have the power to single-handedly, make all those decisions on future things. That's crazy. And I call it a Trojan horse because on the surface, if you don't really read deeper down and then you just look at the few articles and stuff that have been amended, it looks good, right? So you just look at, oh, well, it's to protect us. Oh, it's for the fraud boys. And then you go deeper and you're like, you need accreditation to practice, else you are a criminal for that. That's crazy. Like, and it's not just cybersecurity. Like, it's so broad. So there's a lot hidden in there. And if you don't like reading, you just read the top of it, and then you'll be like, oh,
Great.
okay, it's a
Great.
good thing.
Great. I have a point. Can I come in?
Yeah, please.
So, you and I don't have as much time convenience. We don't have the time luxury as much as possible. But this is something which is very critical for you and I and for Ghanaians in general. And so, what did I had to do? Like you mentioned, you run it through ChatGPT. I also have Claude here. I run it through it because I'm not going to have the time. Currently speaking, there are certain deadlines we also have to do personally, but we still have to manage to get some time to address this issue. So I ran this through Claude, and then I asked it, so why should Ghanaians be concerned? And number one, this is what it said. Number one, this bill creates a powerful surveillance state apparatus with minimal checks and balances. That's a serious statement. Number two, your online activities should be monitored and could be monitored actually. So, once again, number two, Your online activities could be monitored, your communications intercepted, and your assets seized based on broadly defined offenses. So now, are we saying that we are giving all of this autonomy to just one body?
One body.
They can just barge into
That's
your
this.
house and then they tell you, okay, we have a tip off, or we deem your operations whatever. So they can just confiscate whatever you have. They can freeze your assets, whatever. Is that fair? What do you think about that?
Yeah. So earlier today, I was on a space where we're discussing this particular section, and then someone, I mean, the damn tech guy was really, that guy is so far from dumb. Like that guy is really smart.
I
So
mean, he uses
the
his
way
name as a
he,
dummy.
yeah, and the fact that he doesn't just, it's not just about tech stuff, right? So he read the whole bill, and his breakdown and understanding of it was impeccable. So he did mention that, well, they would need to get a warrant in order to come to your home, right? But then the the point is they still have too much power, right? Because they are the ones going to make the rules, and they have the power to, you know, decide that, okay, what you've said is a crime. What you are doing, like, it's crazy. And the fact that you need accreditation, and then if you don't, it's different if you say, okay, this accreditation gives you more weight. If you don't have it, I mean, you can still operate, but you will not be respected. But to say that without it, you are a criminal. If we see that you are practicing any of these things, you are innovating any new tech or whatever without accreditation, we can fine you, we can arrest you. That's serious. Oh,
Very
I
serious.
don't know why.
It's a very
It's
serious
crazy.
issue.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Like I can give an
Yes,
example. I can give a typical scenario. So you see, when the document was summarized, it mentioned something. The fourth point, it said international precedent shows such laws are often used to silence dissent rather than fight genuine cybercrime. I mean, we can use our own neighbors. We know how Nigeria things were transparent over there. You are just on the streets walking somewhere. You get profiled because you have a certain type of hair. They say you are into fraud, that you are with a laptop. They just open it up, and people are using it to harass the average black man. Let's not be hypocrites. The black man is already infused with is so drunk on power already. And if you are giving him this opportunity extra, is that's not a recipe for disaster, if we are being honest?
bro. It's not, just think about this, right? Let's just say you've not done anything wrong, okay, and then they just suspect you. Just think of how busy you are, and then you need to travel out of the country for a conference with a remote company, and then they just grab you at the airport and say, we suspect that you are doing fraud, okay, and then they just put you somewhere without any, and then after the investigation just goes on for like a week, and then you're like, oh well, we finally decided you are free to go, and like that causes you to lose your remote job. Like there's so many angles that you can look at it, and I'm like, this is just crazy. Who like it doesn't, from JHS, all we learned about the arms of government, it just doesn't make sense at all. Like there's no one to check the person making the rules, the same person enforcing it, the same person. It just makes no sense. Like me, I would say it should be scrapped, right?
Immediately, with immediate effect, if we are being honest. This is not something which needs to even be debated. I mean, you see, yes, you remember his response. He was saying that they were trying to seek public opinion. But how do you craft this and say you are seeking public opinion? This does not look like. Uh-huh.
Yeah, the opinion they will get is that it should be scrapped. We are not going to be tweaking any parts of it for them. No, they should scrap it and come again with something better.
You
That's
gave
what
an
they'll.
example of a software engineer or a tech person who is doing a remote job. That's not the only case. So, for instance, let's talk about content creators or social media influencers. Let's give a typical example. For instance, you make a tweet, and then an official, either some Jata George or whoever, doesn't agree to that tweet. They can simply make a call to whoever is in charge that this person, what he did is misinformation. Look at what Kobwatin just broke down in that tweet. There is no misinformation there, as far as you and I know, in what he said. But here's the case: some judge came back and said it was misinformation, and that the guy should read. And now he came back, and then he asked him, "Okay, honorable, since you are saying it's misinformation, can you please be specific and point to me where the misinformation was?" So if this bill comes in, just a tweet like that means someone just tagged it as misinformation. And so you are going to be what? Swept out just like that. That's a serious precedent. I don't think it's a good trajectory for any of us. And this is why anybody who has any online voice or whatever has to lend in their voice and then make sure that we try as much as possible. I mean, at the end of the day, whatever they want to do, they can do. But as far as we're also paying taxes in a way, we just need to also lend in our voice and make sure that this doesn't come to see the day of light.
Yeah. I mean, what's my main idea is to raise awareness to the point where it becomes so clear that if they implement it, they did it against the voice of the people, right? But there's a quote going around that says, as you are fighting for the black man, you need to use one hand to fight for him, because you'll be using the other hand to protect yourself from he that you are fighting for. You, because they will be attacking you. You are fighting for the person, but the person will be attacking. So you need to use the other hand to fight he himself.
What you are saying is so true. It's so true, man. Like, you need to be cautious as much as you are trying to also say something like that. I mean, you see, in one of the tweets, Sir Mike, as he said here, he was like, "This should have been one of the best opportunities to expose the lies and misinformation in his thread and educate us." But Darby, da, we should go and read. Like, if we are being honest, Sam George, as someone who we have employed you, that's not how you are supposed to talk. I mean, you need to learn some diplomacy if we are being honest. So let's assume if whatever, if that bill comes to pass, this thing I'm saying right here, I could be taken off just like that. Are you
They
aware
can
of that?
track, they can start hunting. Yeah, will we see? So just today, just some few hours ago, my mom was like, "You should be careful, because it could be like it could be a target." I was like, "Well, that's very true, but I cannot remain silent on this one. This one, there, it's not something that you can sit on the wall and just watch things happen, because no,
You can't
we have
at
to
all.
fight it right now, 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 now. If they
At
still
all.
pass it and they start witch hunting me, we'll see how that goes. But for now, we fight to the death. So yeah, we'll
Great,
keep
great.
pushing.
You see, I love this tweet that this guy also said, just Kwesi. I think he responded to some Jata George. He was like, three things. We cannot trust politicians with that kind of power. That's one. Number two, your first thoughts when the 8 people died was to shut down the internet. We can't trust you with this kind of power. Three, government will weaponize it against opposing views and voices. I think this guy
Serious.
cooked. Do you agree with him or not?
Charlie, it's crazy. I totally agree with him.
I mean,
I totally agree with
some
him.
George was here, and then he talked about he an option he was considering was to just take up the whole internet because people were not using it right. How can you say that was an option you were
Really,
considering?
you know,
How do
I've
how do you
never seen
how do
that
you say
before.
that?
Wow, I've never seen that thing. It's actually a thing he said.
Yes, so it's something which is going round that's it's allegedly being said that he said that. Yeah.
Okay, so it's alleged that he said that. I hope
Exactly.
it's not true, because I hope it's not true. Yeah,
But if
because
we are
I'll be
being
very
honest, if we look at
disappointed.
his antics, it's something he can say. But I
I'll be
mean,
very disappointed.
yeah.
So
So
I hope not.
imagine if someone like this is now in the position of power where he can instruct certain people to come to terrorize people, to witch hunt people. Okay, you are in your home, you work remotely or whatever, you are always in singlets or whatever, just shirts at home, and you are always with your laptop. You can be profiled. Someone can just do a whistle blowing act, and if that person makes that makes that leaks that information to those authorities, it means they can just come and pick you before you can even get the opportunity to explain. I mean, you are punished ahead. That's a very bad thing. I don't think this has to happen.
It's crazy. You know, one thing, people like, they make it look like, well, we are going to do the right thing. We won't do this. We won't. But that's why it's a bill. So put those things there and let's make it clear. But you don't leave. They've made so many vague statements: emerging technology, AI, blockchain. Bro, if it's cybersecurity, like, bring out the specifics. Let's see where the limits are. But it's like you've made everything so vague that it covers everywhere, and then you want us to trust you that you will do the right thing.
We
It
can't
makes
just
no
rely
sense.
on
Put that in the
goodwill.
bill.
That's just
Exactly.
not how
Then
this works. I
no,
mean,
then why are you writing a bill? You could have just started going around doing good. You could have started chasing the fraud guys. Why do you want a bill? If you're making it a bill, make everything so clear so that we don't have to now rely on goodwill.
thank you.
Right.
Thank
So
you. So well,
Charlie,
I think we need to get straight to the point. So maybe in our closing remarks,
yeah,
in my personal opinion, I think this is something that needs to be trashed immediately. There's nothing to discuss here. I mean, we are not against people who are doing fraud or whatever fraudulent activities, trying to safeguard our country from these people. But at the end of the day, we are looking at how this can be abused for legitimate against legitimate people. That's my concern. And I believe other Ghanaians also share the same sentiments. What about yourself?
yeah. Yeah, my final remarks is something that the Damte guy said, that freedom is more important, even though we want to scrutinize things and we want to make sure fraudulent activities are stopped. Freedom comes first before some of these things, because if you're not free to innovate and it's because someone else somewhere is committing certain crimes, then you're shutting down the whole block. Makes no sense. So it needs to be trashed. They should come back again with something else. We are not even going to bother ourselves to amend anything. All right, Charlie, at the go bed, sir.
Charlie, it's been a great fun session. I think we'll be talking again soon. Do well to add your comments in the comment section, and do remember to like this post and subscribe and share to your friends. Peace.
Yeah, share this one for awareness. All right, bye. See you.